What's up, guys? It's Milk, and as you can see, I am gonna be doing like another guide for Royal Recruits against a Logbait player. So, um, I started this game and I saw his emblems were, for Logbait, he had the Knight, he had the Rocket, and he had the Goblin Gang. Um, he had a variant with Inferno Tower though, but I figured this is still a good matchup for me at least because of the Inferno Tower. I've seen it ran with Cannon. It's a lot more difficult with things like Cannon, Bomb Tower, especially Tesla. They're just like better counters than Inferno Tower. But yeah, I'm just gonna. So a good thing to start with going against Logbait is if I'll start the match. I'm currently gonna hover. Well, you can't really like see what I was doing, but I was hovering my Goblin Cage in the middle while I'm waiting for that princess. You always want to like wait for that princess at the beginning of a match. I don't want to leak, so I put that Ice Spirit in the back. But for some reason, he princesses the back, and so I take a fireball to that easy fireball. A good Zappies placement for a Goblin Barrel would be that. If you don't have arrows in cycle, you do counter 2 of the goblins out of 3, so that I feel like that's just a good trade overall. It's what you can do without um, arrows in cycle or flying machine or ice spirit. So those are dead zappies. I tend to not like support zappies. It's just a weird card to support. So I'm gonna recruits, and I could have arrows that, but I'm just gonna go flying machine because I want to be really aggressive this match. So easy arrows on the princess, and I have the ice spirit for the goblin barrel if he decided to throw it, but he didn't do it yet. So I went ahead and used my ice spirit because I have my zappies in cycle. So that's something you want to do against this pause the goblin barrel mid throw, but be aggressive with this matchup because they will definitely catch you out of cycle. You always got to know when and like what to place. Like use your zappies or arrows on the goblin barrel. Don't use arrows on princess unless it's like absolutely wrecking you. Like I try to fireball the princess, try to get as much value with that fireball as possible because it is a negative trade. Like the recruits in the back, I managed to get some chip in the left hand side. So we're about even right now. I'm a little up in damage, but that's another really good fireball. And I'm gonna cage up for the. Oh no, I'm gonna fly machine actually for the goblin gang. Try to get the flying machine a little closer. Yeah, probably like 2 tiles to the right to counter those spear goblins because yeah, those can get annoying. I always mess up the placement. I always get spear goblins chipping my tower because I mess up the placement. Your flying machine will just take those hits. It'll just clean up the knife goblins, then it'll target the spear goblins with the princess tower. Do better than what I did. Amazing flying machine hit. I don't know his cycle, so I don't keep track of that stuff unless it's like Princess, Goblin Barrel, Goblin Gang. I know he just uses gang, so I'm waiting for a Princess. That's why I have my cage in hand. I'm hovering it in the middle to hope I could catch it. But he knights in the back, and so I just caged in the middle anyways because I'm about to leak. And it's about to be double, so easy arrows. I'm not good at seeing where the Goblin Barrel lands, like top meta players. I'm not one of those players. But if you do, if you are one of those players, get a barrel like this where all the goblins are lined up. It is better to just ice spirit rather than arrows. You do get a positive trade. It's one of the few times you can get a positive trade in this matchup. So just imagine I used an ice spirit on that goblin barrel instead of the arrows. So I'm gonna set up my recruits in the back and fireball that princess. Make sure it gets no value, even if it knocks off the shield. It's kind of not worth it for them to knock off the recruit shields, the evolutionary groups shields when they're like on this side of the map. Yeah, they do get that charge, but their health is really cut down. That's what I see. Because let's say we had 3 shield recruits going up against just a princess tower. They would do more damage than charging recruits, if that makes sense, you know? So if that princess knocked off the shields on the guys on the right, it'd kind of be a dead push because those are pretty weak troops. Yeah, they have the charge, but they die just as quickly. So I'm setting up a really good push here. Got my goblin cage, got my zappies, got my recruits, got everything you could, and flying machine in the middle, and just in time to catch that inferno tower. Make sure it doesn't whittle down many troops. I do piggies once that inferno tower is down. It's perfect because I do get my arrows and cycle next to get rid of that princess, because that's more important than a goblin gang. The recruit zappies and flying machine could take care of that gang on the left, and my troops just go to town on his towers. So yeah, he gave up, so I'm gonna recruit the bridge. That's pretty much it. You just like have to I'll rewind, because I will admit this isn't a good goblin gang player to go up against, but it is just a gang deck or Logbait deck to just give examples to go by. Like this person's leaking a lot. They wouldn't be leaking as much. Like they would have ganged back. They would have spirited. They would have like cycled the log. They just weren't too good of a player in double elixir. I was able to just get so much down that they couldn't react to, like the knight, no goblin gang, like they could have cycled, they could have started stacking princesses, they could have stacked gangs. See, he's already back to another gang, but he just didn't take advantage of the big push that I was building. So like, let's say I fireballed that princess. He could have set up an early inferno tower in the middle because he had the elixir. Look at how much elixir he has. But he splits the gang first, which is, I don't know how I feel about that. He could have cycled the ice spirit and the log. He could have got back to his knight and goblin barrel. He could have thrown the barrel. I would have had nothing but an ice spirit for it. I would have had to take that gang damage. But yeah, it's just that's my guide for going up against Logbait with World of Recruits, at least. That's it.